Information and Koima Press Club held a workshop on the National Clean Air Program and Deputy Commissioner's Hall. Government of Nagaland through the Ministry of Information and Publicity informed that NSA and GPRN had identified Itomo Rengma from Tesopenyo village as an impostor illegally collecting money by pretending to be their leader. Senior Alpha I leader surrendered to security forces near the Assam-Arunachal border. Acting on a tip of Assam Rifles and Tinsukia police took the 15 years veteran into custody. NPP Nagaland has raised concern about the high fuel price in the state. Petrol costs around 97.75 per litre and diesel about Rs 88, which is Rs 5 to 8 more expensive. Zunibodo held a 10-day awareness campaign on the prevention of sexual harassment act at the DLH Center. Hello and welcome to Nltv English Primetime. This is Chanchan Kasar and now the news in detail. Kohima District Administration and Kohima Press Club held a workshop on the National Clean Air Program on September 12 at the Deputy Commissioner's Hall. Yanatum Kitan from Nagaland Pollution Control Board said Kohima and Dimapur are labelled non-attainment cities due to high air pollution. He warned that 99% of people breathe unsafe air and urged everyone to work together to reduce pollution by 40% by 2026. Deputy Commissioner B. Hanok Pujan said keeping the city clean is everyone's responsibility and stressed the need for public awareness and teamwork to fight air pollution. He also asked the media to help spread the message. The workshop included discussions on waste management and cleanliness with media officials and students attending.
Part of the National Clean Air Program. There are 131 non-attainment cities in India, which includes Kohima and Dimapur cities. Non-attainment because the air quality of Kohima and Dimapur have not attained the national ambient air quality standards in simple. So that's why Kohima and Dimapur has featured in this list. Today, the campaign has
used than other essentials of life. The Supreme Court has also taken cognizance of that good environment is a fundamental right and has put the onus on the government to make efforts for better environment for its citizens, to take on clean air as a mission. Efforts for cleanliness, including clean air, is not and should not be a one-time affair.
The water source also, and it creates noise pollution. So this is also one area we should be mindful about, because when we talk about bursting of firecrackers, we can see different colors of lights. We feel happy with that, but those different colors are made from different chemicals. And when it goes up in the sky, bursts, ultimately it's coming down. And we are inhaling all those chemicals again, ultimately affecting our health. When there is a rainfall, it pollutes the water source through the seepage again. So firewood burning for cooking as
about clean air. So we are fortunate that we are able to collaborate with a group like Kohima Press Club, whom we have highest respect. And today it also coincides with the launching of One Day with Deputy Commissioner initiative, which we began this morning at 9 o'clock. So we will be having on a weekly basis with all the government and private schools and higher secondary schools. And for the launching, Dr. Kire.
Also, I feel this is a very good opportunity that we as members of the Kohima Press Club spreading awareness and also ourselves practicing about Pollution Control Board. It was a very enlightening and also very knowledgeable PPT that we had.
Government of Nagaland through the Ministry of Information and Publicity informed that NSA and GPRN had identified Itomo Rengma from Tesopenyo village as an impostor illegally collecting money by pretending to be their leader. They clarified that Itomo had no connections with NSA and GPRN and was not authorized to collect any tax or fund. The group warned him to stop his activities, but he refused, and they said strict action will be taken if he continued. Therefore, the government urged people to be cautious and not trust unauthorized persons collecting money for NSA and GPRN. They also appealed to local village authorities to intervene and prevent violence. This was issued as a final warning to Itomo to cease his illegal act immediately. NPP Nagaland has raised concern about high fuel price in the state. Petrol costs around 97.75 per litre and diesel about Rs 88, which is Rs 5 to 8 more expensive than in nearby Meghalaya and Arunachal Pradesh. This is mainly due to Nagaland's high VAT on fuel. The party said this high price increased transport costs, farming expenses and food prices, making life harder for families and small business. They urged the government to lower taxes to help people. Zunibodo held a 10-day awareness campaign on the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act at the DLH Center. Central explained types of harassment complaint process and introduced the SIG One-Stop Center and Helpline. A section on domestic violence emphasized the need to address all forms of abuse. They even included cultural performances and ended with thanks from the organizers.
About women empowerment. What is women empowerment as a government program, or how we can be aware about the programs and also take support from the concerned departments who is implementing the program. This women empowerment is beyond government schemes and policies also to some extent. And not every woman might require this kind of empowerment that government is implementing as well. However, large section and maximum of our community, Sunni community, precisely, we need this kind of awareness, and we need to take the better use of these programs. We should support one another, being aware about the program and availing the best benefit of what comes out from these government policies and programs. So, through this program we are trying to bridge the communication gap and bring you closer to take active role, or otherwise bring your best ideas, good practices, and we also can collaborate and make better programs for our women in Zunibodo district.
So I just want all of us, I know that 40, 50 plus as but I think today we change our mindset. If we change our mindset, I mean, going forward, I think you talk to 3-4 people. Now all of us, like I'm sharing with you. I think awareness I mean, cases can do success expect. Like I said, it all depends on our mindset. Now let us go to the technical. Sexual harassment at workplace lagado. Hoy, mga thana digi jabu pare. Na police station de, mga sexual harassment hoise office de na kona complaint dibu pare ho. However, there is one system in place, mechanism in place. Auni laga workplace de. Okay, institute ki hobi, TC office hobi, SP office hobi, key office hobi, some office de. Ekta institution thake bole lage. Internal Complaints Committee.
About women.
The Konyak Baptist Bumain Nok Bajum has raised concern over alleged incidents of youth engaging in satanic worship at cemeteries during late hours in Nagaland. Terming it an alien culture, the KBBB warned it poses a serious threat to the Christian majority society. Urging churches, the government and civil bodies to act, the group emphasized the need to restore Christian families' values, encouraging family prayers, Bible study and moral guidance for youth. Students of Seoul House Academy in Mokokchung visited Krishi Vigjay Kendra Yusemyong on Thursday, accompanied by 5 teachers and the principals. During the study tour, the group interacted with KVK scientists and observed hand-on demonstrations in soil testing, nursery bed preparations, pest management and the integrated farming system. They also learned about the precious farming via automatic weather station and using azoalized poultry feed. The visit wrapped up with explorations of the instructional farm and observations of standing crops, giving students real insight with modern agriculture. After a long meeting with the government and NPSTA, the RMSA graduate teachers said they are not happy. They called the government's reply just a response and not a real plan. They said the state is using the review petition as an excuse. The teachers said no official court notice has come, so the court's decision is still valid and must be followed. They say they will not stop protesting until they get the correct pay scale. The protest continues with new energy today.
Your president and the executive, they're having a meeting with the government. I don't know what they are talking. They are talking more than 2-3 hours. I also wanted to know what they have discussed. But I am sure they are trying to lollipop ekta khelai they will try to do that to pina. Our lollipop Monday like will do threatening bro. Only conditioner bui khawle kam bhi nahi. But let's be hopeful that they bring out something productive for all of you. Nah. Teachers are the most respected profession in Tasu. Nah. Aro Nagaland last state too, we are in such a situation where the teachers have to come and protest. To soro masin nahi paro babile. Soro masin jana nijor la school teach school la do aina ite protest kore. Simple as you see, it's very simple. Accommodate all of you. No. Yes. Regular could be state category and Nltv. It is as simple as it. No problem. If the cabinet is really serious about your case, yesterday they would have said, how many of them are there in the cabinet? 12 of them. 12 of them. Tandu VIP nishina every day. Na escort na public hantu kam na thagi nishina hotai berai thagi no hai. Sob ke overtake kuri kuna tanki kam kuri. What do they do? See, we bao kotha koli na generally see. Akire kwa nishina, the government has forced a stupid guy like me because frustration no overall against kwese utange. If they are really concerned about all of you, yesterday evening they would have sat together. They would have said, they would have decided, and they would have given the paper to the chief secretary. That would have been implemented today. Yes. Is that simple? No. Are they serious? No. So I give the question. You have a good number of peace-loving manu.
A district-level orientation for the Adi Karma Yogi Abhiyan was held in Kohima on 12 September. Deputy Commissioner B. Henok Buchen said the program helped departments understand the initiative better and called master trainers the key to its success. The Adi Karma Yogi Abhiyan is a national program to empower tribal communities and improve governance by involving many government departments. It uses a step-by-step training system where state trainers teach district trainers who then train local leaders called Adi Karma Yogis. These local leaders include government workers, teachers, youth and volunteers who work with communities to plan development goals for village by 2030. The program also brings together different government schemes to provide better healthcare, education, farming support, sanitation and social benefits to tribal areas. Dimapur has been classified as a non-attainment town by Central Pollution Control Board because pollution levels have increased by 35% from 2020 to 2024, according to Yantung Kitan, scientist at Nagaland Pollution Control Board. He spoke at an event on the International Day of Clean Air, stressing that air pollution is a serious and visible threat to life. The World Health Organization says 99% of people worldwide breathe unsafe air, and pollution reduces the average Indian's life expectancy by 3.5 years. Dimapur's Deputy Commissioner said efforts like road repairs, dust control and awareness program funded by the National Clean Air Program have been done, but stronger community participation is needed for lasting improvement. Deputy Commissioner of Chumukidma, Poland John, has informed all departments that as part of the ongoing Adi Karma Yogi Abhiyan campaign, a nationwide program by the Government of India to improve governance and service in tribal areas, a district level orientation program will be held on 15th of September at 1 p.m. in the Deputy Commissioner's Conference Hall. All department heads are encouraged to request and also requested to orientation without fail. We will now take a short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. Let's get back with the news. Longlang District Legal Service Authority held a legal awareness program at Alayung village on 11th of September. The program focused on educating villagers about property scheme and their legal rights. Officials explained how to access benefits, eligibility and complaint processes. They also shared information about victim compensation and upcoming National Lok Adalat on 13th of September. About 34 people, including women and marginalized group, joined and received pamphlets on their right. The event was led by local lawyers and community leaders. Department of Legal Metrology and Consumer Protection, Zunibodo, teamed up with Nito Theological College to hold a consumer awareness program on 12th September at the college chapel. The event was led by Assistant Professor Hovika Yepto and included prayers and a special song by the students. Assistant Controller Kevishi Z. Zimomi gave a talk on consumer right and the need to be careful when buying things. The program ended with a closing prayer aiming to educate students and participants about their consumer rights. Deputy Commissioner of PAIC, Rosita Onguri, said the monthly cleaning work will happen on 20 September from 6 a.m. All government workers, citizens, shop owners and business in PAIC town should join in. Everyone should clean their office, homes, shop and nearby areas. This work is to keep the town clean and healthy. Everyone is asked to help so the cleaning is done well. Health Department gave a presentation on Nikshya Mitra to support TB patients at the District Planning and Development Board meeting in Mokokchung on 12 September. There are 174 TB patients in that district needing help. Nikshya Mitras can be individuals or groups who adopt at least one TB patient for 6 months to provide support. The MLA and Deputy Commissioner both promised to adopt 5 patients each. The district will review donor participations in the next meeting, and the Additional Superintendent of Police reported that the border situation with Assam is under control. The Deputy Commissioner asked departments head to visit their officials regularly to improve coordination and report on this visit later. The DPTB also discussed funding for the 25 Dr. T. Au Inter-District Championship in 2026 and approved remaining school to Royal Night School. The Agricultural Department was asked to prepare a presentation for the next meeting. MLA Achumbemo Kikon said the foothill road on the Bandari must be finished by December 2025 to ease travel. Work is ongoing but delayed by monsoon rain. The meeting called for better police presence in border areas and improved facilities for security forces. They proposed moving a police checkpost to Mirapani village. Concern were raised about teacher shortages at Bandari Higher Secondary School, urging quick hiring. Plans to upgrade the Big T sub-treasury and improve power at the community health centers and a guest house were approved. Therefore, the focus was on road completion, security, education, finance and infrastructure improvement. Mallory District Planning and Development Board met on 11 of September at DB's Court, Mallory. The meeting was chaired by Deputy Commissioner K. Matung Sanglao. They reviewed the last meeting's minute and discussed creating a statistical office and a district youth resource and sport office in Mallory. This proposal were recommended to concerned department for approval. The subdivisional agricultural officer Wetsote Kapfo gave a presentation on the district agricultural activities and scheme. A coordination meeting was held at the Bashi Court, Tuli, where heads of departments shared updates on their work. The Rural Development Department said Tuli block has 12 panchayat and 2,118 active Manrega job card, creating 48,176 work days. The Agriculture Department shared that nearly 2,800 farmers are registered under PM Kisan across 3 blocks. Over 50 farmers are growing oil palm with support for land and irrigation. The Forest Department reported planting over 90,000 saplings at Mirakong village and 2,000 at the Tuli College under different scheme. Health officials raised concern about increasing dog bite cases, TB and road accident, but said there have been no malaria cases in recent years. The meeting called for better teamwork among departments to solve problems and keep development going. The additional Deputy Commissioner and Executive Officer of Footsroad Town Council, Malohomso, has announced a mass cleaning drive on 20 September. Starting at 7 am, all government departments and residents are asked to clean their office, homes, shop and public areas. People are also told to remove all vehicles parked on the roadside, commercial road, building materials and other personal items, blocking public parking and causing problems for traffic. A fine of Rs 1,000 will be charged if anyone does not follow this order. The Bharatiya Janata Party Nagaland mourns the passing of Mao Sangtam, Vice President of BJP Mandal for 53 AC Twansang Sadar 1. Known for his dedication and leadership, Sangtam was a committed party worker who played a key role at the grassroots level. His untimely demise in his hometown Twansang leaves a significant void in the party. BJP Nagaland extends heartfelt condolence to his family and praise for their strength during this difficult time. A joint technical test was conducted on the 50-bedded Ayush Hospital at Sabangya, Mokokchung to assess construction quality amid growing concern over delays and poor workmanship by KC Infra Project Private Limited. The test supervised by district officials and community representatives found issues like standardized plaster work, inadequate flood casting and cracks in the slab. MS Northeast engineer, an independent firm, carried out concrete strength tests. The district administration has halted construction until the test report is received, expected in 5 days. The Chungja Students Union and Village Council vote to closely monitor the project to ensure timely and quality completion. Nagaland Social Welfare Advisor Wapang Konyak flagged off a new toy train at Highland Park, Kohima in the presence of key officials for the Social Welfare Department. During the event, Wapang suggested creating a dedicated recreational space for senior citizens at the park. He urged the public to take responsibility for preserving government property to ensure its benefit to the community. Nagaland Power and Parliamentary Affairs Minister K.G. Kenyai met with the chairman of the Inland Waterways Authority of India in New Delhi on September 11 to discuss the development of water bodies in Nagaland, including the Tizu-Zinku Inland Waterways project. Kenyai also chaired the Nagaland Inland Waterways Board, highlighted the promising prospects for inland waterways development in the state. He was accompanied by Thomas OSD. On September 12, the Dimapur Municipal Council announced that prior permission is now mandatory for organizing seasonal festival, events, carnivals, fair or similar public activities within this area. DMC CEO Tunchang Bemo Tongo stated the rule ensures better regulation, public safety, traffic control and cleanliness. All organizers, individuals or group must seek approval for the DMC permit branch before holding any such event. The United Naga Council has announced the temporary suspension of the ongoing trade embargo in Naga areas effective from 6 p.m. on September 11. The decision came after an emergency presidential council meeting following the government of Manipur's invitation to resume the tripartite talks within the Ministry of Home Affairs and Manipur government on issues including the abrogations of the free movement regime and border fencing along the Indo-Myanmar border. The UNC appreciated the government's assurance for prior consultations before proceeding with any work. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has called a 96-page SIT report on allegations that Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi has linked to Pakistan very explosive, saying it reveals documents, foreign involvement and threat to India's sovereignty. The report submitted after probing Congressman Gogoi, his family in Pakistan, National Ali Takir Sheikh. Sarma said Assam Cabinet will review the finding and decide next step after the Boreland Territorial Council election. Gogoi has rejected the allegations, saying they are baseless and politically motivated.
This is a very explosive report, goes into 96 pages. We have recovered many important documents related to the sovereignty of our country. Once it is discussed in cabinet, we will release the SIT report for the consumption of general public also, as well as we will take next step. But let me assure all of you that this is a very explosive report. It is a kind of a cartel which we are working to defame and demean the development process of our country. And in that entire cartel, one Pakistani citizen and the British wife of Honorable MP has played a big role. Now it is completely clear. That is a prerogative of our cabinet. Let the SIT report comes to the cabinet and cabinet will take the next call. We are waiting for the successful meeting of Prime Minister and we are one.
Senior Alpha I leader Mriganka Assam, also known as Budeshwar Gahoi, surrendered to security forces near the Assam-Arunachal border. Acting on a tip-off, Assam Rifles and Tinsukia police took the 15-year veteran into custody. He was reportedly the operational commander of the outfit 779 came and close to arrested Commander Rupam Asom. At the time of surrender, he was carrying an MQ series rifle, 90 live round, 3 magazines and a hand grenade. Police say his surrender is a major setback for the band outfit, which has been struggling with leadership after Rupam Asom's arrest. Investigations are ongoing to trace more linkages. Harbhajan Singh said relations between India and Pakistan must improve before the two countries resume cricketing contests, especially bilateral series. He made the comments ahead of the Asia Cup match in Dubai, noting that after Operation Sindoor, India's response to a terror attack on Pahalgam, many felt there should be no cricket or trade between the team. Harbhajan respected the government's policy to suspend bilateral support ties and believed that until diplomatic relations meant cricket and commerce should also be withheld.
देखिए इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच जो है हमेशा वो लाइमलाइट में आता है। अब ये ऑपरेशन सिंदूर हुआ और उसके बाद सब लोगों ने बोला कि क्रिकेट नहीं होनी चाहिए, व्यापार नहीं होना चाहिए। और देखिए ये हम लोग अभी लेजेंड्स खेल रहे थे, हमने तो खेला नहीं वो मैच। ये अपनी अपनी सोच की बात है, अपनी अपनी समझ की बात है। मुझे लगता है कि जब तक देशों के रिलेशंस ठीक ना हो जाए तो फिर क्रिकेट या व्यापार नहीं होना चाहिए। वो मेरी अपनी सोच है। बाकी जैसा सरकार कहती है वो अगर कहती है सरकार कि ये मैच होना चाहिए या व्यापार होना चाहिए तो फिर बिल्कुल ठीक है, बट देशों के हालात ठीक होने चाहिए आपस में।
पाजी पंजाब की बात की जाए तो मतलब पंजाब में जो फ्लड आया हुआ है तो उसके बारे में क्या कहेंगे? आपके पंजाब में रहती हैं।
ऑब्वियसली मेरा दिल बहुत दुखता है जब वो सारे सीन मुझे मेरी आंखों के सामने आ जाते हैं, क्योंकि मैं वहाँ पे खुद वहाँ पे मौजूद था। गीता वहाँ गई, सेवा हम सब ने मिलजुल के करने का प्रयास किया है। बट ये बात तो है कि पंजाबियों में ना एक जज्बा है कि खड़े हो जाते हैं, अपने लोगों के साथ ही नहीं, जहाँ भी कोई मुसीबत में होता है वहाँ खड़े हो जाते हैं। और आज पंजाब के ऊपर ये आपदा जो आई है, ये एक बहुत ही भयानक स्थिति में है पंजाब। बहुत ज़्यादा पानी भरा हुआ है। जब मैं गया था तो तकरीबन 12 फुट पानी था और उसके बाद बरसात लगातार 10-12 दिन रुकी नहीं और पानी कई जगहों पर तो 20-20 फुट पानी था। तो बहुत सारे परिवार जो हैं एक दूसरे से बिछड़ भी गए हैं, बहुत लोग मर गए हैं और जो नुकसान हुआ है फसलों का या ज़मीनों का और हर तरीके से जो किसान का नुकसान हुआ वो देख के बहुत दिल दुखता है। और यही कहना चाहूँगा, इस मुश्किल वाली घड़ी में हम खड़े हैं पंजाब के साथ और हमेशा खड़े रहेंगे। मेरा वजूद कुछ नहीं होता अगर मैं पंजाब से नहीं होता। तो मैं पंजाब के लिए हर दिन हर वक्त प्रे करता हूँ कि जल्दी हालात हमारे ठीक हों और हमारे जो भाई बहन हैं जिनको घर उजड़ गए हैं उनके हम सब प्रयास करेंगे मिलजुल के। आप लोगों की बहुत सपोर्ट की ज़रूरत है। मैं हमेशा आपको भी कहता हूँ कि किसी भी तरीके से मदद करिए, बट मदद करने के लिए पंजाब के लिए आप सब सामने आइए, क्योंकि आप अगर पैसे से नहीं मदद कर सकते तो आप दुआ तो कर सकते हैं। दुआ करिए पंजाब के लिए, और दुआओं में जो ताकत होती है वो शायद उससे बेहतर ताकत किसी में चीज़ में नहीं होती है। तो आज पंजाब को ज़रूरत है आप।
Unrest in Nepal has caused a near total stoppage of movement at the Jogbani border in Bihar, stranding several trucks on the Indian side without access to food or water. The Sashastra Sima Bal has heightened security along the unfenced Nepal-Indian border amid protests against the government's social media ban. The protest has led to political turmoil, including the resignation of Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. So far, clashes have resulted in 34 dead and hundreds of injuries.
दो दिन से सर खाने पीने का सामान नहीं मिल रहा सर। बहुत दिक्कत कर रहा है। जब जा रहे हैं साहब लोग से पूछने को बोल रहे हैं नहीं जाना है अंदर, आप लोग का नहीं जाने देंगे। और बोल रहे थे यहीं खड़ा रहो जब तक क्लियर नहीं होगा तब नहीं जाएंगे। आप
विटामिन लेके जा रहे हैं।
विटामिन लेके जा रहे थे तो विराटनगर तो फिर नहीं गए?
कहाँ गए? यहाँ पे बंद कर रखे, आगे दंगा हो रहा है इसके नेपाल के अंदर। गाड़ियाँ जला रहे हैं, तोड़ फोड़ कर रहे हैं, ड्राइवरों को पीट रहे हैं। यहाँ कोई खाने पीने की व्यवस्था भी नहीं है, न दुकान है, न चाय की दुकान है, न खाने की है, न पीने का पानी की प्रॉब्लम है। यहाँ तो हालत खराब हो रही है।
People from Andhra Pradesh stranded in Nepal during protests have safely returned home. The state government arranged a special flight for the evacuation. The evacuees thanked Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu and Nara Lokesh for their support. Tories Murthy said they were on tour when clashes broke out. Andhra Bhavan helped them get in touch with authorities and Lokesh helped them with safety. Another tourist, Prabhakar Reddy, said they were struck with 81 people during the unrest. Lokesh reached out, assisted them and got them home safely. Punjab police have busted a cross-border arms smuggling model linked to Pakistan in Fazilka district, arresting 2 individuals and seizing 27.30 bore pistols along with 470 live cartridges. Director General of Police Gaurav Yadav said the consignment was sourced via a foreign-based entity and intended for criminal gangs within the state. The operation was carried out jointly by the Counterintelligence Wing, Firozpur, and State Special Operations Cell, Fazilka. The police are now investigating both forward and backward linkage to unravel the smuggling network. A political deadlock over appointing an interim head to lead Nepal's government continued on Thursday despite President Ramchandra Padul's appeal for peace and effort to find a constitutional solution. While talks for a transitional government proceed, the situation remains peaceful with army patrols in sensitive areas. The death toll from recent protests has risen to 34. The youth-led Gen Z protest group met with military leaders to finalize a transitional government, but disagreement over its head remained unresolved. Several candidates, including former Chief Justice and Kathmandu Mayor, are under consideration. Meanwhile, over 15,000 inmates have reportedly escaped from more than 25 prisons amid the unrest.
म अब अस्ति 2 दिन आन्दोलनमा गएको जेएनजी मध्येको एक हो हैन। अब अहिले चाहिँ यहाँ हाम्रो जुन अहिले प्रधानमन्त्री को बन्ने भन्ने यो भागदौड भइराछ नि जुन, यसमा चाहिँ अहिले मेरो चाहिँ अब भनाइ के छ भन्दा अब हाम्रो जेएनजीको एउटै माग भनेको बालेन्सा हुनुहुन्थ्यो, उहाँले अब अस्वीकार गरिदिसक्नु भयो। सुशीला कार्कीको नाम अहिले मेनली आएको छ। सुशीला कार्कीको चाहिँ अब पूर्व न्यायाधीश भएर उहाँसँग एक्सपिरियन्स पनि भएर प्लस कानुनले संविधानले चाहिँ के भन्छ भन्दा 70 प्लसको मान्छे एक्सेप्ट गर्दैन र एकचोटि के भन्छ राजनीतिबाट उ भइसकेको मान्छे चाहिँ फेरि गर्न पाउँदैन भन्ने हाम्रो जुन संविधानमा छ नि। अनि हर्का साम्पाङको मेन कुरा आछ अहिले। हर्का साम्पाङलाई जेएनजीले चाहेको होइन, उहाँ आफै धरानबाट चाहिँ म बन्छु भनेर आउनु भएको होइन। अनि अहिले हामीले जेएनजी पुस्ताले चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ के चाहिरहेको भन्दा हामीले चुनेको मान्छे, हामी जेएनजी पुस्ताले चाहिँ चुज गरेको मान्छे चाहिँ आउनुपर्ने भन्ने कुरा। तर अहिले मेन मान्छेहरू यहाँ अहिले झडप पनि भयो, अघि हामी त्यहीँ थियौँ। अहिले जुन कोही हर्का साम्पाङ भन्ने कोही बालेन्सा भन्ने भइरहेको थियो।
हाम्रो यो जेएनजी जो 1997 देखि 2010 सम्म जन्मेका युवाहरूको एउटा जमातलाई जेएनजी भनिएको छ र यसले सामाजिक सञ्जाल र भ्रष्टाचार विरुद्धको लागि गरिएको आन्दोलनमा जुन सोचेकै थिएन त्यस्तो नसोचेको भइदियो र यसमा विभिन्न तरिकाबाट घुसपेट चोरी जस्तो यसलाई आन्दोलनको नाम नदिई एउटा जेएनजीको तर्फबाट मैले आतंकवादको नाम दिन चाहन्छु र यस्तो गर्नेलाई कारबाहीको पनि माग गर्न चाहन्छु र यही संविधानमा टेकेर अझ सरकार बन्ने हो भनेपछि पुरानो आन्दोलन गर्ने सम्पूर्णलाई खोजी कारबाही हुनुपर्छ, होइन भने संविधानलाई माथि राखेर देश बनाउनको लागि तयार हुनुपर्छ र तुरन्त रामचन्द्र पौडेलले राष्ट्रबाट छोडी या त सेनाले देश लिनुपर्छ, होइन भने संसद विघटन गरी रामचन्द्र पौडेलले अब यहाँ चुनाव गराउनको लागि खर्च चुनावी सरकार होइन कि परीक्षण सरकार भनी कानुनमा लेखी 2 वर्षको लागि हुन्छ, 4 वर्षको लागि हुन्छ, सकेसम्म कमै गर्नुहोस्, 2 वर्षको लागि भए पनि परीक्षण सरकार बनाई।
French President Emmanuel Macron has announced that France will deploy 3 Rafale fighter jets to Poland following Russia drone incursions into Polish airspace. The decision made public on Twitter is intended to strengthen NATO's eastern flank and protect European security. Macron said he convoys the move to Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk and discussed it with NATO Security Secretary General and UK Prime Minister. He stressed that defense European from Russian action is central to France and NATO strategy, affirming that Europe would not yield to Russia's growing intimidation. The announcement came after Poland invoked NATO Article 4 following military reports to several drones entering its airspace. Investigators in Utah have stepped up their search for the gunman who killed conservative activist Charles Carr. At a press briefing in Orem, Public Safety Commissioner Bureau Masom released surveillance footage showing a suspect fleeing across rooftop at Utah Valley University. The suspect was wearing a black t-shirt with an American flag, an eagle design, black pants, a cap with triangle symbol, sunglasses and Converse shoes within white sole. Police say the suspect left palm and shoe print while escaping and have urged the public to help identify him.
If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind her. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black t-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive t-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. If you look up to
Harvard University have started receiving notice that Federal Reserve grant cut by the Trump administration could be reinstated after a judge ruled the cuts illegal. The court called the cuts unconstitutional and accused the government of using anti-Semitism claim as a cover for political motive. While reinstatement notices are arriving, no funds have yet been paid. Harvard have challenged the cuts after refusing demands during a federal anti-Semitism investigation. Negotiations over restoring funds, including Trump's demand for Rs. 500 million payment, are ongoing. U.S. Ambassador designate to India Sergio Gore told the Senate Foreign Relations Committee that India's protectionist policies have limited the U.S.-India partnership. If confirmed, he aims to push for fair reciprocal trade beneficials to American workers and business. Gore highlighted ongoing trade negotiations, noting the two countries are not that far apart on a deal and expect resolution soon. He emphasized the unique personal relations between President Trump and PM Modi and said depending defense cooperation, energy exports, and technology collaborations are key priorities.
We're actively negotiating with the Indians right now. In fact, the president has invited their commerce and their trade ministers to come visit us next week, and they'll be meeting with Ambassador Greer here in Washington. Part of that will include a hopeful deal. We're not that far apart right now on a deal. In fact, they're negotiating the nitty-gritty of a deal. Secondly, look, we hold our friends to a different standard. Frankly, we expect more from India than we do sometimes from other nations. I do think it will get resolved over the next few weeks. And finally, we commend you and the chairman. You're both co-sponsors of Senator Lindsey Graham's bill, which seeks to impose 500% tariffs. So the president has imposed.
U.S. Ambassador designate to India Sergio Gore emphasized India's strategic importance at his Senate confirmation hearing on Thursday. Gore, who will be the youngest U.S. ambassador to India if confirmed, highlighted India's geographic location, economic growth, and military strength as vital for regional stability and shared security interests. He reaffirmed his commitment to advancing U.S. interests by boosting defense cooperation, promoting fair trade, enhancing energy security, and expanding technology partnership.
It is truly an honor to be here. For those of you who have yet to meet, my name is Sergio Gore, and I currently have the honor of serving as Assistant to the President and Director of Presidential Personnel at the White House. I can proudly report that under the President's leadership, the Office of Presidential Personnel has filled over 95% of jobs at record speed, beating every other administration in American history. I also want to thank this committee for the incredible work you have done to confirm so many of our nominees, often in a bipartisan effort. I've also spent many years here on Capitol Hill, including working for members of this very committee. It's especially humbling to walk these halls today as President Donald Trump's nominee for ambassador to India. Serving at the pleasure of President Donald Trump has been the greatest honor of my life. As Secretary Rubio noted, India is one of the most important relationships our nation has in the world. If confirmed as ambassador, I will work to deliver on the President's agenda and advance U.S. interests by increasing our defense cooperation, ensuring fair and beneficial trade, deepening energy security, and furthering technology. If confirmed, I will prioritize deepening defense and security cooperation with India. This includes expanding joint military exercises, advancing co-development and co-production of defense systems, and concluding critical defense sales. These efforts will enhance collaboration between our forces while supporting American defense manufacturers and making America more prosperous. India's population of over 1.4 billion and its rapidly growing middle class present immense opportunities for America. From artificial intelligence to pharmaceuticals to critical minerals, the potential for collaboration is vast. However, in the past, India's protectionist policies and regulatory barriers have prevented us from fully realizing this partnership. If confirmed, I'll work to advance trade that is fair, reciprocal, and beneficial to the American workers and businesses. I will advocate for reforms that will make India's markets more accessible and transparent. I will also work towards President Trump's ambitious goal dubbed Mission 500 to double bilateral trade to $500 billion by 2030, which will expand American exports, creating jobs, will encourage Indian investment in U.S. manufacturing capacity, and we will also be furthering, with Indian investments in the United States, we will also be furthering our strategic pharmaceutical supply chain and create more jobs right here at home in the United States. India is also a strategic partner in advancing critical and emerging technology. The U.S.-India, quantum, semiconductors, and other critical and emerging technologies. It is truly an honor to be here. For those of you who have yet to meet, my name is Sergio Gore.
That is all for the Nltv English Primetime. For more news and updates, keep watching Nagaland TV.